ranking my top Star Wars movies. This list might piss a few people off. I am ranking these movies from least enjoyable to most enjoyable, and not for which one I think is an actual better film. There are 11 live action films, and I've watched each one of them a ton of times. And I just want to say this one more time, this is a list of which ones I find most enjoyable. I doubt my list matches yours 100%, and that's something I love about Star Wars. We can all enjoy this galaxy in our own way. None of these are necessarily bad movies to me. Maybe number 11. So coming in at number 11 is The Last Jedi. Honestly, I went back and forth between this being number 11 or possibly being 10, but this movie ruined Luke Skywalker for me. A boy with so much hope, who was willing to die to bring his father back to the light, pulled his lightsaber on his nephew because he thought he was turning to the dark side and sensed some dark side energy in him. That just doesn't make sense to me. They also wasted Snoke, Leia became Mary Poppins, and the whole Canto Bight scene just didn't need to happen to me. I just didn't really enjoy it. After number 11, these are my top 10, and to be honest, I did not dislike any of these. I just had some that I liked more than others. The Last Jedi was probably the only one that I actually didn't care for. So number 10, I have The Rise of Skywalker. This movie suffered from packing way too much into one movie. I wish they would have made it a two-part. I've probably seen this movie 10 times, and I do not hate it. I just wish it was more than what we got. Also, they completely could have came up with an explanation for why Luke drew his lightsaber on Ben. Still, feel like The Last Jedi ruined Luke Skywalker for me. I am sure that there are a few people out there right now that are thinking I'm just hating on the new stuff, and that is not true. I just didn't really care for these two movies. I've pretty much loved all of the shows, and I really enjoyed The Force Awakens, which we'll get to soon. In at number 9, we have Attack of the Clones. To me, there was a lot of things to like about Attack of the Clones, but there are also things to dislike. The film had way too much CGI, and the relationship between Anakin and Padme seemed forced and awkward. And the dialogue was pretty hard to watch, too.
I don't like sand.
But the movie did give us the whole Geonosian arena, and we did finally get to see Yoda in live action. So there's a lot of good about this movie, it's just, I liked other ones more. At number 8, we have Phantom Menace. This was the first Star Wars movie that I got to see in theaters. My parents forced my cousin to take me on opening day, and I loved the movie. At the time, I thought Jar Jar Binks was awesome. I've changed my mind since then, but I don't give him the hate that many do. I've put this movie on so many times just because I know we're going to get to see Maul and Obi-Wan fight. Then while rewatching it, I remember that I think I like this movie a lot more than I actually enjoy watching this movie. In at number 7, I have Solo. Solo was a fun movie for me to watch. I think it just gets extra hate because it came out right after The Last Jedi. I think the lore and all the actors are awesome. The Kessel Run part was great. This is a good movie. I just think that there are better movies in the Star Wars franchise. In at number 6, I have Return of the Jedi. Ewoks, Death Stars, and the death of 2 cruel rulers. What's not to love? Even though one of those rulers does end up coming back. But hey, Jabba was killed. Luke was awesome in his saving Han Solo, and we get to see Leia in the bikini. I even like the Battle of Endor. Okay, so I'm fairly sure I'm going to get some hate for this one, but in at number 5 is The Force Awakens. It brought Star Wars back. Yes, it is a retelling of A New Hope, but I kind of like that. For all the hate that the sequel trilogy gets, I do not think that it should be aimed at this movie. Up next is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. This is a gritty, action-packed film that tells the story of the heroes who sacrificed themselves to make the Rebel Alliance victory possible by getting the Death Star plans. It has probably my favorite hallway scene, plus because of this movie, we got to have Andor. In at number 4 is A New Hope. Star Wars was a really big part of my childhood, and this was the first movie my dad and I watched together that was not a kid's movie, or at least that I remember watching. Looking back now, I like the movie even more. Luke shows us that anyone can be the hero. Vader was scary, Tarkin was even scarier, and I'm fairly certain that what I call my charm and sarcasm, my wife just says I'm being an asshole, comes from Han Solo. So in at number 2, I have Revenge of the Sith. Many lists have this movie near the beginning and saying that it's a bad movie. I disagree with those lists. They are the same lists that usually have The Last Jedi as number 1 or 2. So we're just looking for different things in our movies. Recently, probably a few months back, I put up a poll asking people which movies they enjoyed more, and Revenge of the Sith was actually the number one. So I guess my list might not be for everybody, but the audience that does interact with my videos and my polls do enjoy this movie. This movie was a little more dark, and while I'm never rooting for the bad guy to win, it is nice to see them sometimes win. So in at number one is The Empire Strikes Back. So this is actually one of my favorite movies of all time, not just Star Wars movies. The Wampa scene was awesome. We get to meet Yoda. Vader's revealed to be Luke's father. We meet Lando. Han is captured. So much happens in this movie, but it doesn't feel rushed. The Empire Strikes Back is a great movie. I have probably watched this movie 100 times. I'll start doing chores, put something in for background music, and next thing you know, I'm sitting on the couch watching Empire Strikes Back. I cannot wait to share this movie with my kids someday. All in all, my favorite Star Wars movie. So this list was just a quick little synopsis of these movies, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. No Star Wars is bad, but some Star Wars, mostly The Last Jedi, is not my favorite. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope you guys enjoy all the movies. Soon I'll start doing a ranking video of my favorite shows as well. Let me know in the comments what your favorite movie or your least favorite movie is, and where you rank the shows. I hope you all have a great day, and may the Force be with you.